Heroes, heroines, likers and subscribers, thank you very much for joining me again on the channel. It's another wet, miserable, grey day. Christmas is out the way, we're well on the way to New Year, and shamefully I still have on the XJ an ABS fault warning light on the dashboard and a DSC unavailable message on the dashboard. In a previous video we narrowed it down to a near side rear wheel speed sensor being the fault, being the issue. Hopefully today we'll get that rectified. We're going to go down to the unit. I have a new wheel speed sensor with me, so we're going to get down to the unit and change that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that will rectify the problem. So let's get down there now and make a start. See you in a bit, guys. Okay guys, so we're here at the unit, but before I fit any new parts to the car, I want to scan it again using the OBD fault code reader, just to make sure that no further faults have popped up since the last time we scanned it, and also that we're heading in the right direction in terms of rectifying that ABS fault and the DSC fault. So I'm going to scan that now and see what the car can tell us. So the good news is there's no further fault codes have popped up since the last time we scanned the car. We've got 3 faults in the engine control module and 2 faults in the ABS module. So I'll look at those modules individually now, and hopefully the codes that are in there should confirm what we thought initially about the fault being in that near side rear wheel speed sensor. So reading the codes in the engine module, we've got 3 there. One of them straight away relates to the wheel speed sensor on that rear left. We've got 2 further codes which I'm not too concerned about, as they're generic codes that appear every time you run a system check, and they don't indicate any particular fault with the car, so I'm not worried about those at the moment. But as I say, straight away pointing us towards that left rear wheel speed sensor. So looking into the ABS module itself, loading the data, and then we want to read the codes. Yeah, so straight away, rear left wheel speed signal comparison fault. That points to the wheel speed sensor for me, but we have got also a C1143 fault code, which possibly indicates a fault with the tone ring itself. So we might have a missing tooth, or we might have corrosion or dirt in the tone ring. So whilst we're in there changing the sensor, we'll give that a good clean, we'll check it for damage, any missing teeth, and just check that that's all okay, because it can sometimes cause a problem. But yeah, let's get in there and get that sensor changed. I'm pretty confident, you know, looking at all the fault codes, that this is going to be the issue. So let's get in there and start changing that, and hopefully we can solve the problem. So the first thing we need to do is remove the wheel and tyre. So I've got the car jacked up just high enough to remove that wheel and tyre. It doesn't need to be all the way up in the air. But I have got wheel chocks under the front wheels. If I do happen to jack it up a little bit high and both the back wheels come off the ground, then obviously you're going to lose your parking brake. So I always chock the front wheels, especially if you're jacking it up at the back there, and then the car's not going to roll off the jacks. I've cracked the wheel nuts off with the breaker bar. And then I'll just use the power driver just to wind those wheel nuts off, save myself a little bit of time, but we'll get that wheel off now. So with the wheel and tyre removed, if we have a look around the back of the brake disc, you can see the wheel speed sensor there attached to the wiring harness. Also, you can see the toothed ring, the ABS ring there. We'll have a good look at that, make sure that it's not damaged and it's not corroded. Doesn't look too bad, but we'll give that a clean up anyway with a wire brush and just make sure it's nice and clean whilst we're in here. I'll remove the wiring harness. You can see it's just clipped to the sensor there, so we'll remove that. So that's the wiring harness removed, and what I'll do is I'll just spray a little bit of penetrating fluid onto the bolt holding the wheel speed sensor on, and just let that soak in, because the sensor will have been on a while, no doubt, so it'll just help us to remove it. So I'll let that soak in and hopefully it'll help. So that's the wheel speed sensor out, and you can see the toothed ring there, the ABS ring. Now it doesn't look, I've had a look at it, it doesn't look badly damaged. There are no tooth missing or anything like that, but I will give it a clean up, you know, just to be on the safe side. You use a wire brush or some wire wool just to clean it up and make sure that that's all good. That's the old wheel speed sensor there. I mean, there's no obvious signs of any damage, but I don't suppose you can really tell, you know, from looking at it whether that's the issue, but it's obviously been on there a while, so we'll get that changed. And there's a new sensor for comparison. Again, you can't really tell a lot by looking at it, but it looks in better condition than the one we've taken off, so we'll get that fitted and see how we get on. Simply slot it into the hole there. Nice and easy. Sometimes you might have to clean up the hole a little bit, but it's not so bad on this one. It's nice and clean, so we'll pop that in there, and then we just need the fixing bolt. Just tighten it up by hand to start with. Make sure you're not cross threaded. Just tighten that all the way up, finger tight. That's it, gone in nice and easy. And then we'll tighten it up with the wrench. Excuse my camera work, holding the camera with one hand and trying to tighten this up with the other. That's it, just tighten that up. Not too tight, because we may need to take it off again in the future. So just kind of nipping it up and then giving it a little extra turn, and that should be absolutely fine. And just clip the wiring harness back in. Just feel it clip. That's it. All looks good. Okay, so we'll get the wheel back on, and we'll give it a test drive. Hopefully we've solved the problem. Okay guys, so everything's back together, wheel back on, wheel speed sensor changed. What we're going to do now is we're going to clear those fault codes from the car using the fault code reader, and then we'll get the car out on the road for a test drive, and fingers crossed the problem's solved. Let's go and find out. Well, the early signs are good. I've just pulled the car out of the unit and we've got no warning lights on the dashboard, and I haven't had to clear any faults with the fault code reader, so the car's actually seemingly cleared the faults itself. So fingers crossed, it looks as though we might have solved the problem with that wheel speed sensor. What we'll do, let's put some miles on it and let's see if it stays clear. Fingers crossed it does, but let's get some miles on and see what happens. Okay guys, so we've put some miles on the clock there, and we're still warning light free. So it looks like that wheel speed sensor was the problem. So with no warning lights now, everything seems to be working as it should be. So I'm pleased that that's all it was. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given some of you, you know, perhaps the confidence to do a job like that yourself. It really isn't difficult. And also it goes to show that, you know, sometimes these warning lights that come on, you know, on these Jaguars, they're not always heart stopping or wallet melting. That was just a few pounds for the wheel speed sensor, and perhaps, well, probably less than half an hour to change that. So as I say, hopefully it's given you guys perhaps some confidence to do a job like that yourself. That's it for today's video. We'll have more content coming very, very soon. As always, if you liked it, please like and subscribe, share it. It really helps. So until next time guys, thank you very much, and take it easy.